you coming to Prestige after spending such a huge amount of time at Unilever. How did all of this happen?
That's a very simple question, but it can have so many answers, and most of them are borderline controversial.
If you could highlight maybe few things from a customer's perspective that he might have had a difficulty in this thing and this thing was resolved by doing this.
Digital transformations are not IT implementations.
Okay.
You don't just get a product and deploy it. Digital transformations are basically changing the fundamental fabric of how you used to operate into something how you want to operate.
Being at one organization for 16 years is something you don't see quite often these days.
Everybody can trust an employee, but does the employee repose the trust back in the organization? I think it's a two-way street, right?
But if you could speak about few of the perks or few of the benefits that made people happy.
This was a question which actually my father asked me, right?
Hi. So in today's episode, our guest is Mr. Vishesh Kaul, who is the Chief Information Digital Officer at Prestige. What his history is that he has spent 16 years in an FMCG company, Unilever, and then made a career shift to a real estate brand, which is one of the greatest developers in India, Prestige Group. Our today's discussion is revolving around how he is bringing a 3-year transformation plan at Prestige, which is responsible for making customers' experience smoother and making it hassle-free for them to enjoy the buying process. And we have discussed major other topics such as future of AI, how digital transformations can change the complete environment in a company, and many other topics such as benefits of developing systems for employees, what team structures he has made for making this happen, and how is he able to extract the insights of the consumers to make his next product better. So watch this episode till the very end to understand and have great insights about how digital transformation is happening in real estate. So Visheshji, I would like to welcome you and we are delighted to host you on the podcast.
Thank you very much, Krish, for having me here. It's a pleasure.
So can we start off with your education?
Sure. I did my engineering and I passed out in 2002. I started working immediately after that. And while I was working, I did my master's in finance and marketing as well, MBA, right? And very recently, I finished my master's in artificial intelligence and machine learning. That was in 2020.
Okay.
Yes. So that is in brief my educational background.
How does it feel to go and again do a course while you're in the middle of your career?
Well, first of all, it's not easy. It's very tough, and it was very tough for me, especially because I was doing one of the a very game-changing program for Unilever at that point of time, which was basically going to change how they do business in the market. But I realized that I am in middle of an opportunity where I can work on latest exponential technologies, and one of them was artificial intelligence, but I didn't understand much about it. Now, one concept is that you can learn on the job, but it was not really helping. So I took some time out of my schedule, and then while working, I did this master's as well to go deep and understand that what all is possible. So it's not easy, but it was required at that point in time, and I'm glad I did it at that point in time because it helped me understand a lot about the basics, where artificial intelligence can really be used, how it is deployed, how it can be used. And today, I was doing it in Unilever also, but now I am doing it much more aggressively. The concepts are much more clear, and we are deploying AI in the smallest of the pieces, and we have a big vision for AI in Prestige Group as well.
That's nice to hear. I would like to know if your whole journey at Unilever, that from where you started to where you were in 16 years, and how has your experience at Unilever was?
So you may not realize, but actually I worked 4 years before Unilever also. So I told you after engineering, I directly joined the workforce. I think I got very lucky because I was working in a startup kind of an environment, and ISPs were a big thing at that time. India did not have the internet that we see today, right? So a lot of solutions were getting developed for bandwidth. It was very costly then. So the bandwidth control, how to get various kind of applications on the internet, like music streaming
This
and all
was
this.
in which year?
This was 2002.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
wasn't even born.
yeah. I started my journey with that. It was a startup setup, and I was building products. I was testing them out. I was selling them out. I was doing everything, right? That was my first job. So it was a great learning experience. And I quickly moved on to a few more jobs with Government of India across various organizations, but all were management roles. And I think that was my first taste, what management actually means, management of technology means, till I moved to Unilever in 4 years' time in 2006. Unilever was a great journey. I think so. During that time also, I started with what is traditionally called as IT, which is basically taking care of applications. And then I also did a stint with infrastructure, because my idea of leadership is that you should be as broad-based as possible. Till I moved to digital in 2016. And digital was a great learning experience because it was feet on the ground, working with the sales team. So my specialization is transformation of sales teams. And I have done that with Unilever, where sales is the bread and butter. So I was deploying innovations, solutions, building them up from scratch for Unilever across the globe. And I was also based out of Indonesia for a few years because we were driving a very important program out of there. I was, part of a team which was, towards the end of my career in Unilever, I was part of a team which was building the marketplace for Unilever, something similar to Amazon or the world, till I decided to move out. So that's how, in a nutshell. So working on a lot of e-commerce technologies, exponential technologies, and then MarTech, artificial intelligence, analytics. That's what I did 2016 onwards till 2022.
So, being at one organization for 16 years is something you don't see quite often these days. And also, it's difficult to retain people and make people loyal to your organization as well. So, what do you think that Unilever was having or Unilever was doing that it could sustain people for such a long time?
Uh, See, I was not an anomaly in Unilever. Unilever is one of the top recruiters in the world. They get consistently rated as the best employer in the world. And it doesn't happen in one country. It's not that only Hindustan Lever, Unilever में ऐसा होता है. It happens across the world. They operate in 192 countries and they get consistently ranked as number one everywhere. And that credit goes a lot to the kind of frameworks, the employee-friendly frameworks that they have built, the trust that they put in the employee. That's amazing. Now, it also calls out that everybody can trust an employee, but does the employee repose the trust back in the organization? I think it's a two-way street, right? So if the organization is taking the first step and ensuring that employees are taken good care of, the policies are employee friendly, employees also respond back to that. And Unilever invests a lot in the leadership capabilities for people, right? So there is no holds barred policy over that. So I think that's one of the biggest factors which allows companies like Unilever to retain their employees for a very, very prolonged period of time. I have so many examples where people have worked for 30 years, 40 years. They joined Unilever, they retired from Unilever. So all credit goes to the robust, employee-friendly policy frameworks that Unilever has put in place.
Definitely understanding that it is a two-way street. Like maybe the first step is taken by Unilever to ensure that the people are happy and people are also giving it back in return to the company. But if you could speak about few of the perks or few of the benefits, that what actually were those perks that made people happy?
For me, if you ask me personally, and this was a question which actually my father asked me, right? Because I told you I was working before Unilever also, and after I spent about 3-4 years in Unilever, he asked me, "You are 3-4 years in Unilever. This is very unusual. In last 4 years, in first 4 years, you changed 4 jobs. Now in 4 years, you are not even moving. So what's the plan?" And I told him, "I am getting great learning opportunities. I am getting great opportunities to grow within the organization. My work is not mundane. I am a specialist in what I am doing, but I can decide that tomorrow I want to explore something else, and I'll be given that opportunity, and I can choose whether I want to develop specialization in that as well or not. And Unilever is a great paymaster. So what more do you want in your life? If all of these things are falling in place, then it's a curve that everybody would like to sustain. And that's, I will not say, I cannot pinpoint, oh, Unilever was giving this perk, so that's what made me stay back in the organization. But the overall, the way they approach the employee well-being and how to make it worthwhile for employee to look forward, oh, I have to go to office today. Then even employees decide. For example, I have had years in Unilever where I have gone beyond my capacity and I have not shied away from dedicating 18 hours a day. And I'm not saying 1 week, 2 weeks. I have done that for 2 to 3 years continuously because it was such an exciting project and I wanted to be part of that. So Unilever gives you those kind of opportunities, and I think when such kind of things happen, even people put perks and money. Okay, wo dekha jayega yaar. But it's very difficult to beat Unilever on those counts as well. So it's a mix of multiple things, honestly.
So majorly the opportunity of learning and the growth that people could expect for their personal...
Opportunity of, so quite simply, opportunity of learning, the growth that people can get over there, the employee-friendly policies. These are the three big factors. Absolutely.
That helps in understanding.
That's what, in my opinion, is what makes people stay back in Unilever.
Definitely. So coming to Prestige, after spending such a huge amount of time at Unilever, and that too, it is a consumer goods company and Prestige is a real estate company.
Yes.
So how did all of this happen?
Yeah, so that's very interesting. So I was invited for a discussion in Prestige, and when I had the first level discussion, I was not very sure whether this will work for me, because like you said, FMCG is very fast moving world. FMCG always invests in best of the technologies, and there's the kind of technology focus which FMCGs have, it's rarely in any other industry. So when I had my first discussion, I was like, okay, so they have invited me. They are looking for somebody who can handle their technology portfolio. But what is it really exciting? And in my second discussion, I met Mr. Irfan Razak. He's the CMD. And I understood the vision of Prestige. And it became clear to me that this is a guy who's talking serious business. He has a vision. He wants to achieve that vision at a very aggressive pace. He understands that it's not possible without technology. And that turned the thing for me. So I decided then that, that discussion helped me decide that, okay, this is a company I want to be part of. I want to be part of this audacious vision and be on the same wave as Mr. Irfan Razak.
So coming to, what were your initial set of responsibilities coming to Prestige? And I'm aware of the 3-year transformation plan that you're bringing. So if you could speak about that.
So when I first joined Prestige, of course, I didn't understand the business much, right? But the way I have been trained in Unilever, first understand business. So I spent 45 days doing nothing. I just talked to people, I talked to stakeholders, CEOs of various businesses, went to sites, trying to understand what is the business all about. I think I got some sense in about 45 days, okay, this is what the business is mostly about. And because I was talking to the stakeholders, I could also understand what are the pain points which are coming through. And that enabled me to have a discussion on the 60th day with Mr. Irfan Razak and few select board members about what should be our 3-year transformation journey. I think I was lucky, or my homework was good, that he realized that what I am saying is making sense. I have understood the business, and he was very supportive of what I am proposing, and that kicked off our plan. So after that, I adopted an approach where we are talking of transformations, building platforms, building relationship with people who are experts in that particular field and can help us, rather than being a siloed person who's trying to solve small problems. One thing also I realized that there is no dearth of technology adoption in real estate. So if something new is coming, drone is there and drone will do your video shoot, they'll be first, okay, let's do it, right? They'll be first one to adopt it. Or IoTs are coming, you will get your energy meter readings immediately, okay, let's adopt it. But what I also realized is that people are quick to adopt, but they don't know what to do with that and
Right.
how to take it ahead. So that is the gap that I tried to fill. So my 3-year plan was largely focused on that, and then with the principles that we'll always focus on building a platform, we'll build strategic relationships, if required, we'll build our own teams, but most of the times we'll be working with experts who are outside our organization. So I set those principles, and with that, I think that's how the whole journey kick-started.
Would want you to elaborate more on the 3-year transformation plan, that what all is there in the mind and what all gaps that are going to get filled by the end of this.
So the 3-year transformation plan is very simple in its concept. If you look at it, when I looked at the whole real estate cycle, so I mapped, okay, so this is how the real estate process works. In this process, these are the touch points. So this, let's say land acquisition, this has 2 touch points, but designing has 5 touch points. So I just did this simple mapping, and I tried to understand where are the maximum touch points. In that, sales and marketing came out tops. Okay, sales and marketing, and then engineering and other places, they came out tops as well. Third-party interactions were other area, which was big, right? So from an impact perspective and dealing with the customer's perspective, I think sales and marketing was the biggest piece, which could have created a positive impact for the organization. Engineering and the core processes like finance and all those, they were also big, but they are very core and very difficult to change if the process has been set in any particular manner in an organization. So taking these cues, I put together that we will focus on customer experience first in the first year, and that too from a sales and marketing perspective. So this basically gave a rise to a transformation program that I call Total Experience. How do we uplift the total experience of a customer? Because when a customer is buying from Prestige, not only from a lead creation perspective, there's also a sales process, there's also a support process, CRM process, and then they also live in that facility. So there is property maintenance and all those kind also. So the vision was that we will manage the whole life cycle of how the customer is engaging with us, and we'll uplift the experience over there. So that was a Total Experience program, which was divided in 3 years. So first year was sales and marketing transformation. Second year is about customer support transformation, and third year will be about property management and the other facilities that they do. This was one part of this. Then the second year, in addition to that, second year we said that we'll focus on improving the core processes around engineering, around finance, around procurement, those kind of things. And third year we'll focus on uplifting the allied businesses, building the B2C interfaces, the customer interfaces from a, let's say, property management perspective. Or for example, we have tenants who have employees coming in our office spaces or our retail mall customers. So third year we'll spend on building those kind of strategic capabilities. Now that doesn't mean that we don't work even before that on that, because many of these things were to be thought from scratch. So we started building our visions for each and everything. So whenever I start a transformation program, I have at least 10 to 12 vision papers backing that up, that what do we want to do in this. For example, the sales and transformation program, I first wrote down that what is the customer experience that we want to offer, right? So we created a 2-page white paper around that, and we got that approved. And that's how then that was only the vision. That's the target where we want to be. Then starts the work behind that, right? Similarly, if I am going to deploy AI from a customer experience perspective, what is that AI supposed to do? So we wrote it down in a 4 or 5 pager document, and then that's how we are working backwards now and trying to understand how to achieve that goal. So that is how largely the overall transformation program concept has shaped up, and that is how we are going about deploying it in parts. So we are through with our first year transformation now. I am glad that we achieved we achieved everything on that. We delivered everything, and it was very tough. I think our deployments are some of the best that I can very easily say not in the real estate industry, but in the industry per se. They are some of the best experiences that we will start realizing, because we are coming out with a customer app upgrade. We have a customer app, but we are upgrading it significantly. So that's happening in July month. So all what we did in last 1 year, it will start reflecting in that customer app, and people will start seeing the changes. Our sales process is completely digital now, completely online. If the customer wants, then they don't even need to visit our sites, because we have invested in metaverse. So we have put our properties online. And if as a customer, you want to experience that, how does the space look? If I put a sofa over here, how does it look? What are the different amenities? How will they look 4 years down the line? What is the view out of my balcony? How does the sun rise? And in winter, in summer, you can have all that experience in metaverse. And you don't even need to visit the property. You can book it online if you want. So that's where we are right now.
Congratulations for your first year's achievement, firstly. And this all sounds very visionary, and the fact that the group is able to execute it and also get the results is something that is really applaudable. So coming to the impact that is going to be seen in July, what do you think? Earlier was there is a huge difference coming up from the operations that were being done in earlier times and how it will be changing in the July period. So if you could highlight maybe few things from a customer's perspective that he might have had a difficulty in this thing, and this thing was resolved by doing this.
See, one of the key things is when we talk to the customers to understand what are their pain points while they are dealing with, they have to buy a property. One is understanding what the space will look like, how will the place will look like 4 years down the line, right? Their own space, the common spaces and all of that. How does this transform? So that's one thing, because when they come to the site on day one, all they see is a booking place or a customer experience center, where we try to give them through models and other things that what exactly is, but it's not really in real life situation. The second pain point is from the ambiguity of the booking process and whether they are getting a good deal or not, and being in touch with the salesperson. Sometimes they come through the channel partners also. So there is a lot of ambiguity over there. What are my terms and conditions? What am I entitled to? What is the risk I am carrying? These are the two big things that they call out. So for the first one, like I said, that we have invested in metaverse, right? So all our intent is all our properties should be on metaverse. But right now we are investing in all big properties and they are on metaverse, so people can experience over there exactly what it will look like out of the flat of their choice. they will also have clarity around which inventory is available, right? Because many times they get a sense that, oh, how did things sell so fast? Or I was discussing this flat yesterday, but today it is not available. But that's the fact of life. So we are making it a very transparent process for them. And everything is available on app. They can express their interest through the app. Our app is transforming into a sales and marketing tool, a mode of being in connect and communication. So it's also a relationship management tool with the customer now. So that's the focus that we have gone ahead with. So right from if they want to explore a property, and everything can be executed from app. And if they want to book an interest, they can book an interest over there. They can schedule their site visits on a particular time. Time adherence is of key for us. So they will be escorted. And the good thing is we'll maintain traceability of all this, right? So we'll ensure that they are getting the best service, because we will know that, what is, where they're coming from and those kind of things. And then finally, a complete transparency about that, where do they stand in the booking process, what is their dues, what happens if the dues are not paid, the financials and those kind of things, getting home loan on the app as well. So that becomes easy, possibly with Prestige preferential rates, which we are aiming to beat the market, but there is still some work to be done on that. And then, them having clarity about what is the demand, what needs to be released through the whole 4-year cycle, how the construction is moving ahead, having the live feeds on the app itself. So the focus is completely a great customer experience, which focuses on building the trust and giving the transparency to the customer that is required by them, because they are putting their life's hard-earned money into this, and it's not a small sum, right? So that's the focus that we have.
This clearly tells about how this transformation is going to help customer, as all the reasons you mentioned, and along with that, it is how going to help the organization to move ahead of the curve, beat the competition as well, and also leave a clear mark of trust and make a goodwill as well.
Absolutely.
I would want to get into certain technicalities of this whole process, like what is the team structure, what kind of team would you need to make this happen, what would be a suitable timeline for this to make it happen, and how should a person or a developer who wish to do this process should go ahead with this thing?
I think there's a lot which can be achieved alone, but a lot which cannot be achieved alone. And like I said, when I started the transformation program, I was very clear that we'll build strategic relationships with people who understand our vision and are able to translate it into a product. And so I have my own teams which are taking care of engaging with the business, right? So
BA?
Sorry?
Business analyst?
No. So okay, let me help you out. So digital transformations are not IT implementations. Okay, you don't just get a product and deploy it. Digital transformations are basically changing the fundamental fabric of how you used to operate into something how you want to operate, right? Offering a great customer experience is only a statement, but what does a great customer experience means, right? Like I mentioned, that am I able to offer a great customer experience if somebody comes from a channel partner? Or is the customer ambiguous about, I don't understand what are the terms and conditions, right? Or if they are visiting my salesperson second time, right? If you come, Krish, as a customer a second time, do I give you the confidence that I understand your needs? It's not humanly possible, right? But people have been working on that. Messages go on WhatsApp that we have this launch, that launch. They are not customer-centric processes. They are mostly about making a push of sales. Now, wouldn't it be a great experience if you come to my customer experience center? I know you were here last time and you ordered a cold coffee. And wouldn't it be great if I tell you, should I get the cold coffee that you ordered for last time as well? Right?
This will make a difference.
This will make a huge difference. The conversation changes. Suddenly you will say, oh, this guy understands what I need, what I like, right? Would you like to have the focaccia sandwich? That's a great addition with the cold coffee, and it's new on our menu, right? These are the conversations which make a huge difference in building that trust, right? But you also need to realize that the salesperson is not only talking about this is my inventory, this is what the price is. He's really making a conversation. If last time you spoke about a match that you woke up at 2 in the night to watch, and if that was part of the conversation, you can talk about, are you still watching the matches at 2 in the night? Imagine the conversation changes. That's the fundamental shift which needs to happen, and that's what we are with. So digital transformation, there is a process in a box. You open the Pandora's box, you throw everything out, and then you start building the box. That's what digital transformation is about. It cannot happen if your business is not on board, in this case, sales team, because ultimately they have to own the whole process, right?
Right.
That's the methodology we followed in Prestige as well. So with me, the sales team was sitting for 3 months, just discussing each and every process. What sort of communication should go if a customer visit is planned? Should it go on WhatsApp, or should it go on email, or should it go on SMS? What should be the content of the message? To that level of detailing, they were part of the journey. We did just that after 3 months. For 3 months, we did nothing else. We wrote down each and everything. Now, that was also because I scanned the market and I realized that real estate does not have a fit-for-purpose product, right? But this is something which was, so that's why I was doing this. And then I identified a great partner who can work with me and work as per my pace and my vision. So take my vision, convert it, and work as per my pace. I think we have been super aggressive. We landed everything. We landed almost 6 interfaces, not customer interfaces, but capabilities, apps or web capabilities in 1 year, fully integrated at the back end, along with 3-4 additional capabilities to make them work seamlessly. The back end which was powering us was SAP, right? But the front end, or the sales transformation, where the salesman understands the customer right from the time, if they are coming through a hoarding, I need to know they are coming from a hoarding. Hoarding from which area? That means is it on the way or to their office, right? If they are coming from digital, then which digital channel did they come from? So building that understanding right throughout till they land on my site, and then we start the conversation about how to get you the dream home that you want, right? So digital transformations are not technology implementations. That's one big thing that I realized. I told you, real estate has been great in technology adoption. They just didn't know that what to do with that. That's the problem that I'm trying to fix, right? Sorry, did I answer your question?
So we were talking about the team structure, the back. We did answer in part.
The first team that we need is sales team on board, right? The second team we need is somebody from my team who works with the sales team and does this whole discussion.
Who can decode
this and reinvent. Most of the time I was leading it personally because it was such an important and big thing for us. So I was leading it personally in my team. I later on hired one more guy who will back me up, because it was not possible for me to give all the attention to this project, even though it was a big important project. So I hired one more guy, very senior, who can help me with this, and then a great partner who can understand my vision and translate into a product which will work in the market. As simple as that. So this is the three components. Now you can have define, depending on your own journey, that or if the product is available now, which is, because we have helped define that product now. Do you need one person or 2 people? That's a different story.
Depends on budget, timelines.
Yes, it depends a lot on that. But I think these were the 3 components that we are working with.
Definitely. This certainly gives out certain kind of vision that people should have, and what Prestige is having.
Yes.
And I believe this will be a great successful project for Prestige.
Well, it is already, from our perspective, we have already closed it. So we finished it in March, and it's already working for us. Now the only component is the app piece that I'm talking about, but we have absolute clarity about that. What is our customer acquisition cost? It was very ambiguous earlier, but we have absolute clarity about these things. What is our return on marketing investments? And our number of leads have grown 5 times. So because of this initiative, we were getting X number of leads earlier per month, and now we are getting 5X.
Your conversion rate might also have increased.
Yeah, my conversion rates are increasing. We are selling faster on the ground. So all that program has helped in all that. And now we have ensured that it's completely digital, touchless process. So all that helps because we work primarily in the Bangalore market. There are a lot of tech savvy people over here. They appreciate these things, right? Or in Hyderabad, people appreciate these things that we have introduced almost a touchless process.
Everybody does digital marketing, outdoor media, various sources of generating leads, but people are not able to track from exactly where that came from, not able to track what are the perfect channels where you are getting the return on investment. And I believe getting those tracking systems in place and being able to know exactly where the money is going or what is the source of the money coming is, I believe, is going to be a huge added advantage.
No, absolutely. And that was, so we started with the vision of customer experience, and then we realized there can be many subvisions also. For example, the problem that you clarified that we didn't, people can claim, but we didn't understand that, where the money was getting spent. Is this the right channel to spend money on? Should we spend on Facebook, or should we spend on LinkedIn, or should we spend on Twitter? So it was a big mystery. So what we have done in last 1 year is we are able to absolutely track that, where is our lead coming from, and that we are building capabilities now, and they will launch in July, which will give us absolute clarity on those, what should be our marketing plan like at a very basic level, right? So depending on how this thing, let's say I have a micro market in Bombay, like Mulund, right? Where are the leads sourcing from over there? And if I'm launching, let's say one more project in Mulund, I'll take that and I'll recommend a investment plan to our marketing team. Hey, based on last project and based on the outside inputs also, because we looked at outside our projects also. We are looking at how the other projects are also performing. Let's say a Loda's project or others. And we are building models on top of that, AI models on top of that, which will make a recommendation. This should be your marketing plan. This is where you should allocate budget, like in hoardings this much and in digital this much. Spend so much money on, you don't need to spend money on Twitter because you're not getting many leads from there. So that capability is coming now over here. So it's coming out as a one big platform, which started with sales transformation, but it's going to completely transform our whole marketing activity as well. And we are going one step ahead. So we have a vision where we'll basically, we are deploying AI models on top of that, which will automate the whole process. So if it is digital, you don't need to worry. You just need to approve the plan, or you need to change the plan as per your understanding. We never claim machines will know everything. They will know history. But depending on the situation in the market at that point of time, if you want, you can change the plan. You approve it. The tool will just go ahead and execute the whole digital plan as per your defined milestones, as and when you want. So that's our big program for this year.
All the best to you for this whole journey. Coming to what is your vision of AI and ML? I don't want to answer restricted to real estate, but what is your possibilities that you think an AI could do?
That's a very simple question, but it can have so many answers, and most of them are borderline controversial because See, AI is a very impactful capability. The question is, do we understand what AI can actually do? There's a lot of noise around generative AI nowadays, which is great. Having that conversational impact with a customer is a great capability to have. But its use cases are not unlimited, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, when you are talking of real estate is a very specialized product. And like I said, people are investing a lot of their hard-earned money into buying a home, a dream home. And I think while AI can answer your question, but can it really bring in the human factor? I think that human factor is very important for real estate as a business. So generative AI is great if you're dealing with mass. If you're dealing with mass numbers, it will take that load off your shoulders, right? But ultimately, a person who's buying a home of 4 crores, 5 crores, 10 crores, they want to talk to somebody to have that assurance. So my vision of AI, I'll start first with real estate and then we can go somewhere else. My vision of real AI for real estate is an amazing helper who helps a salesperson accelerate the sales cycle. That's my first vision of that. I don't want AI to overtake the job of a salesperson. I think that's impossible in real estate. But I want the salesperson to be empowered enough to know that if I'm buying, like I said, to Krish, then I know that these are the 5 things which are his top priority. And I don't want to depend only on Krish to tell me. I want to have an opinion about that, about Krish, even before he comes to my table, right? So, and there are a lot of avenues to do that now, right? And there's a lot of data collection which happens, whether you are visiting our websites or they are visiting some of the other channels like WhatsApp and all that, or even if you are visiting your regular Facebook account or your Instagram account, that enable us to, understand a lot more about you, what can be your preferences. If Krish is a young guy, then I can offer a product structure to those kind of needs rather than Krish just, blindly moving his hands around and getting into something which he thinks is right for him, but may not be. So AI is, my vision of AI is a great assistant to a real person who's sitting across the table. And there are so many other implications. My vision of AI is that can I make price predictions for a project that I'm launching, depending on how fast the market is moving in that area or what the demand is in that area. My vision of AI is can I bring capex unlocks in the financial cycles for the businesses, right? So which is a big problem, right? If I can unlock the value of a project by, let's say, 200-300 crores, it will be a great win for the company. So that's the direction that I am taking. I have implemented AI models in past where the role of the salesman has changed completely. Not in real estate, in my previous company in Unilever, and they were no longer responsible for selling. They were mostly focused on relationship management and solving the problems of the stores. So those kind of capabilities are also possible. The possibilities are practically limitless around that.
That kind of says that AI can do
a lot of
anything.
Things. A lot of things.
A lot of things.
I have a lot of faith in AI.
Definitely, it will bring a change, a very huge change in future. So I want to talk about Prestige as a company. What is the culture at Prestige?
I think it's a very forward-looking culture, and people like I said, everybody is geared up to achieve the vision which has been set by our chairman, and um, it's a very trusting environment as well. A lot of trust is put in you, and you are allowed the freedom of making the choices that you want to make for the organization, and drive them in the right direction to completion. People understand that we want to move in big leagues, so we have to take big decisions, uh, look at the bigger picture. People understand that across the board. It's not only the chairman, but across the board, the leadership, the people who are making that happen, the engineers, the salesperson, everybody is, is putting their shoulders behind this one big goal, and are ready to take that huge jump across. So it flows top down as well as it flows bottom up, both sides. So very, very positive culture from that sense.
I know it won't be the right comparison between Unilever and Prestige, both being in two different industries and sectors, but wanting to talk about the culture at both these places. Do you find something better at one place, or any particular difference you found in both of these companies?
I think it is an unfair comparison, honestly, because Unilever is in a different league, different kind of business, global in nature. But yes, one place where Prestige definitely trumps is the vision that it has set for itself. I think companies which are like Unilever, which are big in scale, it's difficult for them to have this kind of a vision, because there are ways in which the market operates for them, and they are also responding to the market in a set manner. In Prestige, it's a little bit different from that sense. There's a lot of startup hunger. Even I see Mr. Irfan, who's been in the business for 40 plus years now. That startup hunger is still in him. That he wants to achieve the big goals, right? So that's something unique for about Prestige, in my opinion.
Few things if you would like to highlight about Prestige's work, or anything you think would be a good thing for people to know about Prestige.
More than about Prestige, I think I would like to highlight something about my team. Yeah, and I would use this podcast to do that. Okay, we are doing some amazing work, very clearly industry beating work over here. Not only the technology teams, but even the teams, engineering, sales, and everyone, HR. They're all doing great work. My team is doing amazing work. We are investing heavily in data analytics and cutting edge technologies. So anybody who wants to do good work, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to have a conversation and understand. Either they individually can be part of the journey, or they can whatever they are doing in the larger scheme of things, that can be part of our journey as well.
Definitely. So coming to end of the podcast, this was a really good session, and it kind of broadens the sight of any person, knowing that a company at this level, what kind of vision it has, how it continuously want to adapt to the technology and upgrade itself, and also at the same time focus on the betterment of the customers and their own organization. This kind of thing tells how the organization will be sustainable for a huge amount of time, and the steps it takes to be sustainable and be there at the top of the ladder in the industry as well. And thank you so much for your time, Visheshji. It was really nice meeting you and being able to talk to you about the whole digital transformation plan that the group has.
No,
Thank you so much.
very much, Krish. I think I enjoyed the conversation. And while I was talking to you, it gave me a couple of more ideas that I should look into. So thank you very much for this conversation as well.
Thank you.
Take care.